How about maybe next week we we start making some music for our hold music and stuff. Sorry, I just saw a request, a song request. How in the world did you guys even do this? OhmLab is more hypnotic than Bob Ross. How does that even happen? Where did that even just come from? I do not understand. I do not know how you guys work your magic. That's hilarious, though. All right, so I'm going to turn off this music and talk for a minute about what we're going to do today. We've got a plugin review today. We're going to be looking at Venomode's phrase box. People are talking about it. I'd like to take it for a spin and see what it can do. Normally, I don't even open up anything and touch it before a review begins because I think it's fair to have a really transparent and honest reaction to things and for you guys to see that so you know what kind of value these things have right out the box. Unfortunately, as I was entering the serial number, I touched a couple of buttons. Anyway, it was fun, and I'll do it again. But yeah, I actually did touch it, but only a tiny bit. So we'll be doing Feedback Friday as well. As per our usual, you can drop links in the chat. Just be patient. We'll sprinkle them out. Happy Friday to everybody. We'll be kicking off with the product review. I'm going to just scroll a little bit in the chat. Say hi to everybody. Hey, Eric. Thanks for showing up, man. Happy Friday to you. Saffron, how you doing? Well, it's just you two right now, I guess. Everyone else is lurking. So how about we wait just a couple minutes until a few more people file in the door. I had a project open with some of the patches that I've been working on for the upcoming release. And I decided, well, what if I just toss phrasebox on this? I have to enter the serial number anyway. And it started a process. But just a quick tease of what this thing does. This was, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes worth of work earlier. Let's see what it is. Nothing too fancy, except, you know, all that I actually had in the DAW was this. Oh, let me just turn off phrasebox, of course. All right, so it was all right. And then I turned on phrasebox. Made it a little bit more interesting. Purple Pros, welcome. 45,000, welcome. Thanks for hanging. Yeah, so anyway, it does some stuff. It's not quite an arpeggiator. They're calling it a phrase arpeggiator, and with good reason. It transforms chords and sustained notes into phrases. So we'll put it to task, and I will also see what we can get up to sound design wise with it, because it looks like an interesting piece of kit for that. So did I work on Fable? No, I did not. That's a great series, though. Let's see here. Also, if anybody wants feedback, drop links. Be patient. Subs always get priority. It's good for tracks or sound design. And if we're not too busy with feedback today, then you can get more than one. It's a pretty cool plugin, this Venom mode. For those of you who are not familiar with the idea of it yet, or haven't heard about it, let me just see if I can find a quick video of it. And also, I should post this in the chat for you. This is a link to it. Help me keep this going in the chat today. It's a link to Phrasebox. You can pick it up through their website. You can pick it up through Plugin Boutique, a couple other places. If you pick it up at Plugin Boutique today, you do get some free isotope gear. So Elements, Ozone, or Neutron, I think. Andremia, welcome. Welcome back. So let's find a quick little video of it. It's really great. It's universal. It even runs in Ubuntu. And they sum it up as a phrase arpeggiator which lets you craft expressive sequences from MIDI chords. And it's got a pretty slick interface. And it interfaces well with the DAW from the few seconds that I took a first spin. You guys will see everything else the same time I do. I did not dig into any advanced features or anything. I quite literally only spent a couple minutes with it after I put in the serial number. So here's a quick video just to kind of show you guys what it does. So it's a pretty cool thing. There's other plugins that are offering similar kind of stuff. But Venomode has put this all into one interface for you, right? It's not specific to instrument type, which the Captain chords and all of that is based off of, the mixed and key stuff. And it's not focused on chord triggering or anything. It's quite the opposite. It's just going to take, you have a very simple vibe that you're starting with, or a feel, and it helps you create something out of it. So as we start playing with this, you guys feel free to shout out your thoughts about aspects of it as well. But yeah, I'm thinking that it might be good for stuff outside of music production. I think it would probably do pretty well with some sound design tasks here and there. So we'll probably put it to work on some of the new sounds that I've been building here in the streams. And we'll probably create a few little ditties. And like I said, I'd like to start creating some music for the actual channel, so we have something, I don't know, worthy of our community to listen to. Not that the people that are filling up the pretzel library aren't good or anything. Andremia, yeah, we can do some feedback. Drop a link in the chat. Subs always get priority, so you're in luck. Let's give Phrasebox a little chance to show itself off here. What shall we make first with it? And shall we be using some of the new stuff? Nate, thanks for the host, sir. How you doing? Ooh, Andremia making music out of sounds from a game. Let's check that really quick. I'll start creating something. Nate, good, man. I'm doing all right. It's Friday. Good luck sorting through the link. This is from Andremia. All the sounds were crafted. Cyberpunk 2077 trailer. Nice. Friday the 13th. Kitty, thanks for hanging. You bear witness. Drumia says, no synths, no drums. Nothing other than the sampler and effects. Nice.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. Initiating combat mode. Condition is critical.
I bet this was fun. Yeah, this is pretty great. This is pretty great. I think you should run with it. And you know what? The only thing that really doesn't fit overall is the drum in this second half here. I mean, I know that you're chopping samples from a specific song, but or trailer, but if you treated that one drum hit, made it a little smaller overall and less real drum, you'd have like I think this would work well in a game. Like I think there's a few different things that could loop quite well in all of this. And it's fun. And it's fun. Nice work pulling just from one trailer. How long did this take you? If there was more like low-end oomph to it overall, then I think that drum would be a better fit and it would just need a little bit more power behind it. But since everything is so Super NES in nature, then I would say stick with that theme and change that drum just slightly, because it's the only thing that really stands out to me as being not of the same palette, if you will, which is interesting, right? Because you pulled it from all from one project, but it took about 3 days. Nice. Nice. Aprikitty, you are a fantastic witness. But yeah, this is fun. This is great. This reminds me of going to the arcade as a kid. So I like it. And cyberpunk is quite the theme. You know, Nate was actually messaging me this morning asking about some 8-bit sound options, because he's working on something. And Zaris reached out to me the other day, letting me know that his cyberpunk project is a go, and it's going to be hugely massive. This retro thing stuck around for a while. It just might actually stick around as like a long-term cyberpunk time or thing this time, which I'm digging. Retro is always coming back, right? Oh man, I thought that when the Stranger Things thing blew up, that it would blow over a little bit quicker, like a normal kind of internet meme does these days. But I've got to say, there's some serious power, staying power behind it with the whole synthwave explosion and vaporwave, and there's always someone doing something retro. But this is, I feel like some of this stuff is just going to stick around for forever. Um, yeah, absolutely. I don't really have a lot of to critique in that one, Andremia. I like fun projects like that. I really do. Vinyl came back, so other stuff is coming back. Yeah. Anybody else looking for feedback today? You just drop it in the chat when you're ready, and we'll get to it as we can. Subscribers get priority. Hey, speaking of, I was mentioning this in the last couple of streams that y'all are amazing with the follows and subscribes, and I was kind of curious as to what that percentage was recently, and I pulled up the last 100 follows, and we've gone through 2 full months here. We're starting on our 3rd month right now, and in the same period of time, of those last 100 follows, we had about 50 subscribers. So I'm so glad that you guys are sipping the Kool-Aid and sticking around for all of this. Mattoid Music, thank you for the follow. I'm so glad that you guys are into it and sticking around as we build this up organically here instead of just bum rushing the mailing list and getting everybody to sign up at once. Because I'm really looking forward to making some community products with you. Nice, Andremia. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, we've been put on low volume, Nate says. I think to put Phrasebox through the paces the right way, we should use this as we actually would. Oh, of course, Nate. I hope that the direction that I pointed you in actually does help. But I've had great luck with the reactor community over the years with 8-bit stuff, so I'm sure you're going to find some gems in there. If I was running on my old machine right now, I would just send you a whole bunch of ensembles, but I'm really not sure what I even have on this thing at this point. So, oh, our Buddha. Oh, man. Saffron. Thank you for protecting us. I was going to be rich and famous, though. So anyway, what I was saying was we should just finish one of these sounds and see what Phrasebox can do with it while we're working on it. Maybe it'll inspire the direction that the sound goes in. Mattoid Music, today we are reviewing Venomode's Phrasebox, which is a phrase arpeggiator. I'm just going to drop the link randomly in the chat today. This is a link that'll get you Venomode, plus you can select some isotope plugins as a free bonus upon checkout. We always try to get you at least a discount or some extra freebies or something if you end up going and buying one of these things we're playing with, because, we're not made out of money. Mission is have a portion of the game to truly emulate the circuitry, noise, imperfections. Yeah. The very best one probably, well, I shouldn't say the very best. Some of the best that I've ever heard have come out of the reactor community, just because we're a bunch of nerds and people have gutted a whole bunch of game systems and recorded all of this stuff. So you really are getting those exact sounds. But also it was kind of a playground and testing ground for a lot of people that released, this stuff for pay elsewhere. So, oh, and here goes Saf. 6? Well, I'll tell you what. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Saf, did you gift a subscription to OhmLab? I don't know if that's possible. Is that even possible? That's awesome. That's awesome. My bot thanks you. My bot is going to buy you a cookie. My guess is that that doesn't actually do anything. That would be my guess. But it looked funny. Thank you, though. Trying to figure out what the sound was that we last worked on. Was it Nebula? I think it may have been Nebula. Oh no, because we did Pinwheel. We started Quasar. Did we finish Quasar? Oh yes. Ah, rainbows. I've got Rainbows 1 and Rainbows 2. RNBWS as an homage to Roy Gabiv, of course. This is so... Oh, this is totally Boards of Canada. It really is. Oh my goodness. Hey, OhmLab has a star. I didn't know that bots could subscribe. Does that mean that my bot can stay up late and just watch reruns? Oh man. Oh geez. Saffronworks, I would like you to head over to the OhmLab website and scroll through the sound packs and pick out a new sound pack to yourself or for yourself. Come back here and tell me which sound pack you've selected, and I'm going to send it to you. The Star Wars theme would work with that. That's awesome, Eric. I like the way you're thinking there. All right, so this is an LFO3, and this is an LFO2. So these guys are just drifting a bit. This is my D-tune. Looks like it's on the course here. Okay, so let's make our top one a timbre. We'll toss a couple of chords, or maybe we'll toss a chord in here and just see what happens. We'll put phrase box on here, and I'll just hit play, and we'll design the sound around it and see if we end up doing things a little bit differently than normal. Yes, Saffron, go over to my website and pick out a sound pack for yourself. There's the link. Don't even have to type it in. Make it super easy for you. Go pick out a sound pack that you don't already have, and let me know which one you pick, and I will send it to you because you're awesome. All right, let's just toss a couple of notes in here. What? Maybe this? Well, actually, I should give it more than a triad to work with. So phrasebox works on up to 8 notes at a time. Maybe we'll just start with 3 and see where it takes us. So if I play this right now, you'll only hear one note because this is a monophonic sound here. But what we're going to do is we're going to toss phrase box on here. Again, this is phrase box from Venomode. This is our review for the day. And if I was to hit play on this right now, yeah, it's working as a gate, so nothing will actually come through here. So let's just toss something on. Let's do a melody. So the way that this works is, here's just a quick overview of this. Oh, no resize? Oh, bummer. Okay. So the way that this works is you've got this series 1 through 8 here. These are the notes. Okay, so the way that it's judging these, from what I could tell, is it's taking the root, which is the lowest note of any chord that you input here, and calling that number 1. And then it's going up in sequence. As you go up in pitch, you're going up in number. It'll take up to 8 voices or 8 notes at a time. And then there's these special fields up here where you can affect all of the notes, just the highest note, just the lowest note, just the first, just the last, just the quietest, the loudest. And then there's a fixed and random here as well. You've got the ability to affect velocity, pitch transposition, octave steps, and there's also chance, which is going to deviate from whatever fixed value you have input. Over here, you've got the number of steps in the sequence, note that you are fixed to. You've got speed up here. You can lock to a key. The speed is going to sync to your DAW. I believe lock to key overwrites what is input coming in, so whatever's coming out of your DAW is overwritten by this lock to key, I think. We can experiment with that, but let's say I had a C major chord in here and I'm producing in like F sharp Mixolydian or something like that. In here, it's going to convert that. Velocity, and there's a swing down here. Playback and generation. This is a random. This dice right here, this right here, syncs to the DAW tempo. Oh, this is interesting. Loop freeform only applies when not synced to DAW or when DAW is stopped. When enabled, the phrase will loop. When disabled, the phrase only plays once. Interesting, okay? And this is a latch, so this holds notes as you play, only releasing when you play another chord or turn the feature off. So here's a sustain. These right here are phrases. You've got up to 12 that you can use per patch. And the way that this works is if you click on one of these, it'll move into the next phrase. Okay, so you can build rather interesting progressions this way. Or if you click and drag and drop onto one of these open slots or any of these slots, it'll overwrite what is currently there. So if one of these is empty and you drag and drop one of these over, then it's going to well, it's going to input all of this information. If you drag and drop it on one that comes previous or prior to it in this phrase chain here, then it overwrites it. And that's pretty much it. You can save patches. You can read a manual. You can check for updates. You can show your license and your plugin settings. Oh, you can resize. Excellent. Okay. Got some hardware acceleration and GUI size. Okay, great. So now you guys can see it a little bit better. So anyway, we've got these 3 notes in here. This is a monophonic sound. So if we were to play this, we're only going to hear the root in there, but this is going to change that for us. So what I'd like is to see just the stuff across the first 3 notes. What if we just take, can I just take those? No? How do I get rid of that? Oh, just a right click. Okay. So what if we just manually move these around then? And we'll just kind of see what it does for us. Hey, Damien is here with a raid. Welcome, Damien. Happy Friday to you, man. Jojo Bees, welcome. Swamp of Life, quick with the raid. Majuli. Or Ma Julie? I don't know. Have I been saying that correctly at all any of these times? That's a good question. Guy, welcome. Mechanotrax. Paul. Bazinga. Greetings from sunny Maryland. Greetings from cold, wet, and gray Portland today. It's oscillating between gray, wet, and really gloomy looking to absolutely gorgeous and tempting. Oh, excellent. I'm glad that I'm getting it right some of the time then. Josh, welcome. Yeah, a lot of people have been interested in seeing what this thing is capable of doing. So you guys showed up just in time. We're putting it through the paces. Right before I started up the stream, I know I don't normally do this, but I actually did play with it for a couple of minutes. And I turned a couple of notes into something interesting. I'll give you guys just a quick recap of that because I gave these other guys a quick recap. So this is what I input. It's just a little 4-bar. It's just using one of the pads from the upcoming release that we've been working on in the streams recently. So that's what it started with. And then I turned on Phrasebox. And it started chopping up those chords into a nice little melody for me. So it made it a little bit more interesting, right? And then I just copied it down to another patch. And then I stuck a bass patch on it. There are 3 different, 2 of the same sound, Desert Sunrise, doubled up. So it sounds like this. 2 instances of Phrasebox running here. Same chord, triggering both. And then I tossed a bass patch on there. There's no Phrasebox running on this. And then I actually used a pattern region. I still have not gotten into all of the new and latest tasty features of Logic. So it transformed that chord pretty quickly, or chord progression, rather, phrase, if you will, into something entirely different. It's like maybe 5 minutes for me to figure out how the plugin works and how to get something useful out of it. If that. And you guys just showed up while I was about to start something new. We're just walking through the feature set and where everything lives in the GUI. And just toss something random into the matrix here. And let's see what we come out with. All of the sounds that we're using right now are from an upcoming release that I've slowly been building in these live streams. It's going to be called Undone. It's a serum pack of presets that are highly detuned. Yeah, I've been saying, think early high desert sunrise at Burning Man, Boards of Canada to Flume, somewhere in there. So let's just see what Venomode has done with this note in here. Now I wonder if there's a way to constrain the randomization process in here. I wish there was a way to grab, like, oh, right, of course, you can send each one of these to a different channel in your DAW. It's highly flexible, what you can map here. It's highly flexible. What happens if we just start adding some random? Interesting. Oh, it's random every time. Interesting. Okay. Ah. Interesting that they have this random line in here because I find that really awesome, actually, especially from a sound design perspective. But from a melody writing perspective, it's quite nice. I mean, if you've got um, just the right chord, that could be really something. All right, let's see if it does indeed overwrite what's in the DAW. Let's go for an E jazz melodic minor, shall we? Okay, so you can test out the key changes and stuff independent from what you've already laid down in your DAW, which is nice. Nice. You do what you got to do, Paul. We'll see you. We'll see you shortly. Yeah, so let me walk through how this works. Zaras, welcome. Happy Friday to you, brother. So the way that this works is you've got 1 through 8 listed here, and it's working on chord input. So it's looking for more than one note at a time. If you have one note in here, it's only ever going to be triggering in lane 1. It'll work on up to 8 notes, and it will always trigger the root as 1, and then work up sequentially from there. So if we were just to start stacking, and then we were to say, let's just go ahead and grab one that has stuff popping all over the place. So now it's grabbing from almost all of the notes. Joe Cappy, thank you for the follow. But then you've got these interesting other things that you can start doing with it, right? Because you've got these special lanes where you can start kind of embellishing. And it'd be interesting to have a random note somewhere in here every once in a while. It's too busy in that one spot. And then you can start to use these guys, right? You can go 1 octave down. You can use your transposition. And then to build upon that, you can see 6 already has something else loaded on it, but if I was really keen on this, I could just drag and drop this right here. It's going to overwrite it, and then I can start working from here. And for these, it's pulling from the originals, not the augmented down here, which is pretty awesome. And you can input multiple instances of phrasebox on the same sound. Because it's only pulling in MIDI and reacting to MIDI, you can create rather complex stuff very quickly, right? You drop an octave in one or maybe two, and you've got a bass line. You can go up an octave in another instance and write a nice little top line or something. You can run each at different speeds. Yeah, it's quite enticing. So if we were to take these all down and drop them on something else. So as we move from this one, yeah, that's nice. And then of course, you know, just map these to your controller, and you can have yourself a nice little push button get play kind of reward system here, right? Let me see what I can sift through here in the chat and answer questions. Yeah, so that should answer the what's on one. Yeah, so the down arrows are specific to either the octave or the transposition. The velocity just has traditional kind of fader. And then there's chance, which you can kind of get away from the norm. That's the swing. This isn't exactly the kind of progression that I put this sound through personally. It's nice to be able to just audition the different key. It's just so transparently respondent. It's responsive. That's awesome. Yeah, there's ways to humanize it with velocity control, swing. So this is all programmable. It's not doing anything on its own, although there are random opportunities. So let's just take this up. Maybe we'll just take this up to 32 steps here and see what this does. This is just a random. Yeah, you can write specific arpeggios, or you can let it chop up stuff. The glides will be dependent upon the programming of your synth, actually. Joe Cappy, if you're running Serum, you can change that skin yourself. Click on Serum here, go to Skin, and move away from the default. There's the default. There's the Promethean. Yeah, this is one of my patches from one of the Sound Freaks releases. This is a pack called Shapeshifters. I think the last thing that we've actually released as Sound Freaks, we've stopped all production and everything with the pandemic to focus on other things. Let's see what this does with kind of interested in taking something like a pad and turning it into something a bit more lead-like. It's quite busy, huh? Oh, the joys of random. Let's click random again and see what we get. And let's put this into something a bit more normal. random again. Let's switch this let's switch this into a mono poly. Move this up to 16ths. Take off the swing. Let's add in random velocity here. Some interesting results, huh? Mixed by Kel, thank you for the follow here. I'm going to go back to a more normal patch here and see what we can get up to. Let's start adding in some stuff here. Oh my goodness. I can see this as being pretty darn fun. Get the right amount of swing and glide in there. You can actually make some stuff that's fairly whimsical in this thing. You know what I'm thinking is if you were working on some like very simple like UI design work or something like that, and you bring in something highly, minimalistic and percussive like that, and you start running in some fairly rapid arpeggios, you would come up with like this never-ending playground generator for alerts and alarms and all sorts of stuff. Nice. Nice. Yeah, you want to play Tron in my serum window. That's awesome. Oh, man. Mixed by Kel, passed out from the pain meds. Man, what are you taking the pain meds for? Joe Cappy. Yeah, some cool sounds flying around all of a sudden, huh? Yeah, let's try it on a Foley recording. That's a good idea. Nice. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take and put something onto some Foley here. Let's pull up trinkets. Highly usable. For those of you who have not picked this up, this is a great one. Everything over on the OhmLab store is $10 or less, without any kind of coupon or anything. These are some layered Foley sounds. Let's grab some of these and just kind of randomly toss them into a sampler together and see what we can come up with. Maybe we should just take the top 8, right? Because we're working with 8 sounds, 8 notes at a time. So let's do, I guess it doesn't really care what tool we're using. So maybe we'll put this into a drum machine designer first, just to see what we can get up to. Did it drop them sequentially? Okay. So now what we need to do is that starts on C1. All right. And here they are. Oh, right, because I have it quantized and this should not be on. I was like, why isn't this painting? All right, so we've got 8 sounds playing simultaneously, which sounds like that. And now if we put phrase box on top of this, wait, what? What? No MIDI? Wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry, but that's a bunch of BS. All right, I'm going to take that out. We're going to use a sampler. No MIDI effects on a drum kit? Come on. I mean, come on. Seriously. All right, so we've got these. These are all layered. What do we do with the mapping here? Oh, I see. I must have dropped it on optimize. Let's drop this on chromatic. There we go. Starting from C1. So that MIDI should work for us now. All right, so we've got 8 MIDI notes, each triggering a different Foley sample, and it sounds like this. So very unworthy of our time. But if we put phrase box from Venomode on here, let's see what we can get up to. Let's go into melodies first. Let's randomize this. Yeah, I mean, just the possibilities of discovery mode alone are great. I mean, these are already layered fully, so this might sound a little cluttered, but just going into discovery mode to find new layers. Let's slow this down. It allows you to audition things very, very quickly, that's for sure. I'm already developing a workflow in my mind. I mean, writing drum patterns in here would be so simple, right? If we start putting stuff up here, will we start getting more from our randomization attempts? No. So maybe it randomizes only ever touching these, or only ever touching the 1 through 8. So if we go into the generation instead of playback, we're presented with some different options here. Oh, use special notes. So I'm going to turn that on, go back to playback, and click random again. There we go. There we go. Now that makes me a little bit more interested in going back over here. We left off in a funny place. Let's randomize. So it maintains these parameters over here. I wonder if that's a checkbox as well. No, it doesn't seem to be. All right, let's see what it does if we randomize everything, including those special lanes. And if we move away from polyphonic, I'm going to grab a simple patch really quick. And slow this down just a little bit. Randomize. For the sake of discovery, this randomize knob is pretty great. I can see why they have the special notes deselected for the randomize engine by default. And I think that 8 is kind of a bit much. Like if we were to take off half. Randomize again. This note density, let's take note density down from 80% to say 50%. So we get a little bit more balance with positive and negative. And let's bring up our note length as well. Bring our velocity down. Add some chance. We've got random velocity up. Stay away from our peaks. Now let's try that again. I wish there was a way to restrict the number of notes. That would be pretty nice. Or just to simply turn on and off lanes for generation. Yeah, I would really like to see that as a feature. Just being able to constrain which lanes are being accessible or made accessible to the randomized feature through. But writing intentionally with this thing would be a breeze. I definitely see some crossover, like some comparable decisions that were made between plugins like this and the Captain Chord stuff, mixed in key stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, you're right. The random velocity does give a nice natural bounce for sure. Saffron, you're liking the idea of doing some layered Foley for a pack, huh? It's a good one. Here, let me drop the link in the chat again for you. There you go. You can pick this up, and when you do, you can pick out a free copy or a free plugin from Isotope as well. Well, it's like a collection. I think it's their element series for either Neutron or Ozone. I think you get to pick which collection of plugins you want for free when you pick that up. You know, I can't remember if there's a discount on this one currently. I don't think there is. I think it's just the free plugins that you get with it. I can't remember exactly what this is. It's like $50 or something, though, I think. Yeah, I think it would be good for percussion ideation. I think it would be really good for layering different elements for sound design and putting them into different rates of playback, which is a thing, and different key of playback to quickly generate packs. Yeah, absolutely. Put some reels or VHS on it. And if you were to combine something like this with a shaper box, like a phrase box plus shaper box combo would be fairly deadly. Like you could come up with some pretty interesting stuff very, very quickly. Um, I think what I would like to do here is knock out another sound or two and then circle back and put phrase box on them once they're complete, and then see how they perform, and then maybe knock out a couple sounds from scratch with phrase box running the whole time, and see what we think of it as a creative partner. Where was I? I think we were going to do rainbows. I think that's where we started here. Again, link is in the chat for those who want to pick up Phrasebox from Venomodes. Definitely gets a couple thumbs up. It's going to take a little bit of time to incorporate it into the workflow, but I think it'll probably stick around for a while. I do like it, and I think that it's kind of all-in-one GUI. Ability to stack them successfully, stack multiple instances on the same channel and just pull from the same MIDI is great. Yeah, I like how customizable it is. And it seems like something that it's really easy to work with intentionally. And it's got a pretty decent randomize feature for those who just want to be surprised. I would love to see, if you guys are tuning into this, I'd love to see a way to restrict the number of notes that Phrasebox is generating with the randomize feature. So that way, if I've only got 3 notes input in my DAW, I could restrict the randomization generation to just 3 notes inside a Phrasebox. That would be awesome. For those who have not tuned in over the last week, I'm wrapping up a new release. It's going to be for Serum, and these are going to be highly detuned and unstable sounds. It'll be called Undone, and think Boards of Canada and Flume and High Desert Burning Man. Because that's what I've been picturing in my mind as I've been working on them. All right, so let's call this top 1 timbre. I think that's where we were when Damien rated us. And it goes from Boards of Canada to Doctor Who. Right? Okay, let's call the second one shape. We'll bring this down a bit. We'll bring this back quite a bit. Bring our release down. Let's revisit this reverb here really quick and bring it in line with the rest of the patches for this. And we'll turn this into a wash. So we'll call this one wash. And let's toss a filter on this as well. And we'll just give it a really classic set of options for us. We'll make just one small change to that. We'll put a comb low pass on it. Okay, so that one doesn't actually work. Let's try just a simple. All right, one change. One potential change on this one. Let's bring up the floor on this a bit. Yeah, Rainbows is a good patch for the inspiration, isn't it? All right, so we'll call this one done. Let's check out Rainbows 2 and see what I was thinking when I made that one. All right, so we've got to change quite a bit on this one. These are 2 minis. I'm not sure if that's the best option for that. I think this is probably better. Let's see how much difference we can generate here. Okay, and then let's just get away from the normal here. Zag, thank you for the follow. Zag or Zog? Right on. Well, welcome, Zog. Welcome to the mix. Alright, this is going to need just a little bit of extra sizzle right here. Oops. I want to see something funky in the middle of this thing. There it is. That's better. Okay. And for this one, let's do something similar. We'll set up a separate remap on this one. We're going to put a little bit of sizzle on the ends here. Bear with me as I work my mad science here. It'll be worth it. All right, let's just quickly take most of those breakpoints there and just... There we go. All right, and again. Oops. Option... So we'll bring that up ish. Of course, we've got to crossfade this. Don't be a savage. More simple crossfade is fine. There's, let's see here. Let's change one more thing here. I'm going to mod this down a bit. So 8. You're going to go in the opposite direction. You're going to go down. And you're going to go at like 16ths here. No, 30 seconds. And you will be auxed by macro 4, 1. Yeah, there we go. Now this is different from Rainbow's one. I can work with this. Zog, we are working on, we've been slowly working our way through a plugin review for Venomode's phrase box, which has been fun. It's a phrase arpeggiator. If you are unfamiliar, it'll take a chord or MIDI input and it will parse it out into melodies and patterns and stuff like that. So one note in, many notes out, and it's pretty dope. We're also doing some feedback. If anybody wants feedback on their sound design work or their music production work, toss a link in the chat. We will circle back around to it. Trivia. Zog and Andremia, you guys know each other. All right, so I do not want to just straight replicate what I did with the first one. So the second one, let's see just how unstable we can get this sound before it turns to just poo. Let's take this one up to 5. For those of you who haven't followed and you're interested in mastering voicing control and how to make decisions, make intelligent decisions with it. Simple rule of thumb. If it's something that needs to receive priority status in your mix, a lead, an arpeggio, something like that, make it an odd number of voices so it has a center. Anything that's supportive, soundscape, atmosphere, subtle drones and pads, even number of voices. No center. Ah, I see, Andromeda. So you guys have good taste, is what you're saying. Ooh, now that's detuned. That's different. All right, so I think that's good there. Let's jump back over. We should stick with our wash theme, I think. And we're running a tape distortion. So here's what we could do. We'll take and we'll create a wash. We'll create a wash like we've done with the previous sounds for this series or for this release. But we're also going to have a bit crusher on that reverb tail. So hang tight. We'll call this wash. Epic. Okay, so our distortion is currently popping off right after our reverb, and it's running tape saturation, which is all fine and dandy for our theme, but I think I'd like to try a downsample on this. Yeah. We may not even have to change our target frequency here. All right, so if this is our peak, we're gonna have to take find that same spot again. Well, normally I would really like that, but I think because of the custom wave shaping we add on the front end of this sound, I think I'd rather err on that side. So we'll keep it nice and tame here. We'll rough it up on this one. See just how much we can kind of break this sound apart without it becoming detrimental to the actual theme. That's pretty hard. Maybe a bit more. There we go. So when you have these straight, almost perpendicular kind of 90-degree angles in a wave shaper like this, and you stack them very closely, your chance, like the probability of getting, like the electric kind of static charge result is going to be pretty high for what it's worth. Which is exactly what I want. got these very, very subtle changes that you can make with your curves then that result in things like perceived feedback and stuff. So we'll call this one saturation. And that will run after our reverb. Alright, so that's a pretty decent endpoint for Rainbows 2, I think. None of many, Jake Matters, Shroomhead 1. You know, you're naming off some folks that I have actually not tuned into before, so thank you. I will check those guys out. Paul, welcome back. Paul's back. Paul is back. That means we can check out his new stuff. Oh, I want to give people a chance to hear what you've been up to. You said there's some OhmLab stuff in here. What else were you cooking with? The gritty bits are from the ambient glitch pack. Pretty great visual on this one. Zog, welcome back. Okay, a wild new sequencer in BCD called Node. So it's driving the DCO 106 from Cherry Audio. Percussive bits from the BCB. There's something quite hypnotic about the lo-fi nature of this visualizer. Feels a bit like looking through a microscope or something. Up there. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah, Eric, I agree. Future sounds of London. I knew you were thinking that same thing, Saf. Nice creative use of the noise, Paul. Those fools putting in noise, thinking that would be an obstruction. Ha! Well, that was a fun little journey. That's some tasty stuff. For those of not tuning in, Paul here in the chat is Uncle Crumb on YouTube. And he's got a fun channel popping. He's starting to do some live streams. And he premieres these things as he completes them. So if you follow, you'll get a notice of when the next one's coming out. Oh, hey, I just got a little notification that Sam Eagle went live. If he's still live at the end of our stream, you guys remind me, I'd like to raid him and send him a bunch of new people. So now you guys are on the hook for sticking around for a while. Yeah, you bet, Paul. Absolutely. That's good stuff. I like sharing. Okay, so I was about to save this thing, I think. Let's just toss a tag on this. Well, pro tip for those trying to make kind of analog style sounds, use custom wave shaping instead of the stock distortion profiles and stuff, and even switch into no oversampling or draft mode inside of Serum. I've made a bunch of analog emulations in Serum over the years, and a lot of people just really cannot discern. So it's well worth taking the time to dial in those parameters and build those custom curves for what it's worth. For those of you looking for a real vibe. 32. Hey, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm aiming for 50 as a minimum number for pretty much any release these days, since I went through and revamped the whole standard for OhmLab packs. All right, so this is on a drift, and this one has nothing. If y'all are sitting out there wondering if I always start with timbre up top on my macros, the answer is no. But I do try my best to create some kind of continuity for people across an entire pack like this. I find that it helps people zero in on what they want and need much quicker. All right, so that is all coming from noise. So we could FM from noise. Mari, thank you for the follow. I get that name right? Let's just make it extra. Ooh, or hold on just a second. What if we FM from the sub, drop this, take this up like 4, and toss it on a... It's a bit much, isn't it? Alright, so back to our noise. I want some grit. Extra. Yeah, like that. Mari, yes. Drop a link in the chat. Be patient. And we will circle back to it in just a moment. Wrap up this sound really quick. What kind of music you producing? All right, let's take our fat up, our drive down, and just a smidge off our band. All right, let's knock a shape out here. Let's put just a small pause on this. There we go. Yeah, thickens that up nicely. Speaking of, we got to do something about the loudness of this patch, right? Let's address our reverb first. We don't need that size. And let's take our spin way down on this. All right, let's take this up. Make a nice distant wash so it fits the theme of the pack. And let's also, maybe we can tame this, this delay in here as well. Let's actually change this up just a little bit. Let's start with a lower feedback and presence all the way around. And we'll just take this one to outer space. It's always a nice surprise with short percussive sounds. And let's play with this idea of maybe just a stereo. No. Let's just put this up. There we go. Let's push that up even further. All right, so our LFO's operating on our compressor bandwidths are, what are they? Oh, they're not. I thought I had already put that in. There I am thinking again. All right, so I want a modulation of 30-second notes or so. Okay, that's all good. So let's just take, let's add a little decay time to this. Let's aux this with 2. We could go up on this. Ooh, there we go. Where are we here? 20. There we go. Yeah. It's better. See, so this modulation is basically non-existent in the pluck shape, but as soon as we push out our attack, and it's a creeper because we've got it running through an auxiliary control of envelope 2, which is the only thing in this patch being controlled by that modulator, so it definitely stands out. Let's keep that. What you guys talking about? Hey, Guy, you know, that's really great to hear. I was just, I had to scroll up to catch up with you guys because I've been ignoring you for a minute. But Guy says, what a sporadic and amazing little session I just had. Music really comes from nowhere sometimes. Yeah, yeah, awesome. Mari, I'm going to click on this link in just a second. I'm just catching up here. Guy says, it was like, ooh, OhmLab gave me an idea. Boom, another idea. Boom, another. Excellent. Yeah, worth the price of admission, huh? Mari, no, there is no trouble, and you shouldn't apologize when you're asking for some feedback or some help. Absolutely. Hey, Guy, that's the first time we've been chatting it up in here. I think since the channel started, so we're going on over a couple of months now. I think that's the first time I've heard you just so 100% positive after putting mouse to screen, so to speak. You had a session that could actually turn into a release. That's great to hear. And jazz is priceless on so many fronts. Awesome. All right, Mari, I'm going to click on this. See what we got here. Okay, now this, first off, Mari, you should probably sub this channel. I'd love to have you share more of your stuff. Come back and share more of your stuff as you're working on it. This feels to me like you're working on maybe some audio logo work or some kind of branding efforts. A few things here. Number one, this is great. Assuming that this is for some kind of licensed application like that, I would highly recommend doing a couple of versions. One where you're playing around with the spatial mix. What DAW are you working in currently? This is all so very subtle and gentle and delicate. I would put just a bit more presence on this reveal. That little cymbal roll right there. That crescendo can be bolstered, and it doesn't have to be with those, it's hard to add emphasis with hard sticks, so you could take a soft mallet approach if this is not something that you are actually playing or like performing, and it's something from a sampler or something like that. You can do this through filtering, but I would lay down a second roll right underneath that one without any hard edge to it, and layer it with just a subtle amount of creamy noise. And I mean creamy, like, let me find one for you. Let's see. Give you an example of what I'm talking about. Something like that. Yeah, I would say something like maybe this crushed velvet kind of profile. But if you were to round that off with a filter, do the same with an additional cymbal roll, and then bring those in at a very, very subtle level, and push that noise just out to the sides of it, I think it would be a really nice enhancement for something like that. You don't actually have to add a bunch of loudness for something to be perceived like in a stronger way. So that's one thing. The other thing, what DAW are you using currently? I would highly recommend doing an alt bounce of this one. If you're in Logic, you could use binaural panning. If you're in another DAW, there's limited access to that kind of stuff across the varied tool sets, but there are plugins that you can use to put your stuff into motion in a planar or spherical realm, so to speak. So you can start taking advantage of a bigger spatial presence, get kind of specific where you're placing sounds. The reason why I mention this is because you have a lot of negative space in here, which I love. There's lots of room for these sounds to just pop off and shine on their own. And when you start to move stuff into specific locations, especially if it isn't predictable, just like a quick LFO or something. If it's all very organic in nature, uh, it'll draw the listener in. They won't be passive. They'll be an engaged participant at that point. Um, you use FL for this. Does FL have some kind of spatial mixing option within it? And am I correct in assuming that this is for some kind of branded effort, like an audio logo or something like that? Or is this just the very beginning of something that you're working on? Because if this is a branding effort, I would also highly recommend making a few alternate takes for the sake of timing. Um, I can think of plenty of companies that would like a version of something like this, but only within the realm of like 6 seconds or less. This is obviously quite a bit more than that at 68 seconds if played completely through, which is asking a lot for a lot of companies. So if you were to put out a few different versions specifically just to cater to timing needs, I think that you would probably get more sales of something like this. But this is a solid entry. This is it's high quality. Just for the amount of time that this resolves, I might let that bass note resolve a little bit slower. It seems just a touch abrupt compared to the way that everything else is resolving. One more time through this. You might even increase the size, or maybe not the size, but the decay rate of the reverb itself on your Foley. Not by a lot, but maybe 20 to 40 milliseconds or something like that. This is solid. This is solid. Saf says, off topic question, is mastering for post-production, is this the same as mastering for music? Well, it depends. It depends on what the gig is. If it's, if you're talking about like dialogue work for a television series or something like that, it's probably going to be a different engineer than someone working on some club bangers. The theories are still the same, and the gear is still the same. Area of expertise is different. Yeah, let's listen to another one, Mari. Yeah, like TV and film. also quite tasty. I'm kind of wondering about the short form nature of these. Are these ideas? Are these something that you're going to kind of release together? Are these work in progress? I'm so interested. This is lovely stuff, by the way. Um, I don't have much in the way of critiques for this one because I feel like everything is fairly well placed and selected. Um, you've really got a handle on balance, that's for sure. You're new to the group, so you missed it when we looked at Chromophone 3. I can toss this up. I'm not sure if the discount is still on this or not, but it sounds like you're into producing some stuff that would be right in line with that type of physical modeling kit. It's quite lovely. It's hard to pick apart and start critiquing because it does sound good as it is. You could use maybe a touch more depth on your Foley, just so it has some kind of, like there's a small amount of unfolding, if you will, of those sounds when you put them into a bit more space. You could even try a sample delay trick. You don't even have to increase, like delay or reverb or anything like that. If you're familiar with sample delays, what you're doing is you're delaying the delivery of the sound in one of the stereo channels by a handful of milliseconds. So it makes it appear that the other channel is dominant, is louder. And I could see you getting a lot of mileage out of something like that. I could see you getting a lot of mileage out of a simple tool like a tremolo as well, just to move things around. Okay, so these are small ideas. And how often are you finishing these ideas and turning them into something bigger? Yeah, you're going to find some kindred spirits in this group. Definitely not trying to sell you on a sub, but you can make sure you keep track of this channel and you come back. As Paul said, he loves these. He would be happy to collaborate with you. And he's got questions. Are you looking to make music tracks or sample packs? I've got questions too. You've got some really good ideas, but I want to know more about you. It's about the people here. It's about the community. So I'd love to know more about you. Where are you? What kind of stuff are you producing in general? Are you finishing tracks? Are you putting stuff out there into the world? Yeah, it's a beautiful, intimate sound. And several other artists come to mind when I'm thinking of this or listening to this. But it's also got a very unique quality to it. And it's totally cool if you're rather shy about it too. I don't mean to push, but this is really good stuff, and you're welcome back anytime, and I hope you stick around. Something fun that you could play with as an idea is very, very subtle chasers in here. You've got this kind of mallet bell appeal running through here. It'd be very interesting to have a very, very subtle kind of gamelan thing, like in an almost muted, like highly obfuscated reverb blanket in the back or something. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Share some more with us sometime. the gray clouds outside have lightened up a little bit, and it's stopped pouring. Quite a bit brighter. Makes me feel like I should be producing some, some tracks. Okay, so I'm wondering how to actually pronounce this. The QR and WT was made by sampling the sounds of a bicycle and a workshop. Yeah, you've definitely got to stick around. This is us in a nutshell. This is the kind of freaky stuff we get up to here. So yeah, definitely stick around. Maybe someone in the community can sort you out with a sub. We're just getting started with all of this because it's a brand new channel that's only been here a couple of months now, but the OhmLab community goes back well over a decade. And we're going to be taking a lot of this off Twitch at some point, not the live streams. The live streams are not going anywhere, but just building actual products together, sound packs and tracks and stuff together. And then I'm getting them out into the world. You should be a part of that. All right, so this will be... Saffron gifts another sub. Damien this time. Hey, hey. What do we call this one? Oh, I think my tag was overwritten there. Sand Piercer is new. Let's do that one next. Running out of sounds here. That means we're getting close. Oh. Oh man, the Wuhan clan. That is epic, dude. Post-COVID, I like this. The Wuhan clan. That's freaking tight. That's awesome, dude. Hey, Saffron, did you ever make it over to the website and pick out a sound pack? You've just become the champion of gifting subs. Were you intending that one to go to someone else as well? Something's kind of wonky today, huh? This might be an interesting one to have Phrasebox on. I guess I do still have this set up. What does this sound like? Let's pull up Phrasebox and do a little randomization here. flush this one out. Do timbre first again. Envelope 2. Envelope 1. Something's going on with your gifting today, Saf. You were attempting to give a sub to Mari. That's quite nice. Well, Purple Pros, I'm so glad that we could help you. It seems like the sonic vibrations that you get whenever you stop by here help. Paul says, got a new collab project late last night. Someone noodling with meaty new hardware sequencer, and we recorded some of his noodles to dissect into samples and loops. Nice. All right. Saffron says he wants Sprinkles. Sprinkles is a preset pack, just so you know. This one. All right, Saffron, I've just put that in your inbox. Enjoy the new sounds, and thank you so much for spreading the love in this community. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, these are really fun to play around with. You bet, man. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. Enjoy those sounds, dude. I hope you get lots out of them. Paul, I saw you mention that Arturia's Black Friday is out. I just popped into my couple of my email accounts to send out a pack to Saffron, and I'm seeing them pop up all over, man, including Control Voltage, which is the kind of preferred modular shop in town in Portland. That's going to be a deadly sale. Oh, man. Oh, about the sprinkles pack? Andrew Wong was talking about it. We should get Jason from Soundmorph in here. We should talk to Andrew about coming in too. Oh, nice. I didn't even realize that he was playing with it. Spronkles! It's the follow-up pack to Sprinkles. Sprinkles and Spronkles. Oh, that's awesome. It is a fun one, though. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I have a question. What in the world? What in the world would Phrasebox do with something like Spronkles? Let's find out together, shall we? All right, so this is a preset pack for Massive that I put out a bit ago. For those of you that don't know, I helped build ADSR back in the day, and I've returned there recently after being away for a minute, working on some other projects, and released this as like a, I don't know, a little nostalgic treat, if you will, just going back into Massive for a minute. But I am now wondering what something like Phrasebox would do to this. Oh, thanks for the follow-up on that, Paul. No worries. All right, I'm just going to, since these are ARPs, I guess we'll just lay down one note somewhere. Let's do a mid-range here. See what we get up to. All right, now let's put the Venomode phrase box on this. Mono. All right, so maybe not the best to run on arpeggios. Oh, I really wish I could restrain it to a single note. Yeah, there's just no way to do that. Not. Fun idea while it lasted. There's a warehouse of little music writers pumping out melodies to this off screen, like Paloopa. Oh, that's great. I haven't gone back into this for quite some time. But of course, it's got macros on everything. Good stuff. Yeah, it's fun. Is there a range restriction for randomness on note or velocity? Inside of Phrasebox, there is. If you go into the generation tab here, note and velocity. So there's note density or frequency of notes appearing in the arrangement, note length, sustained or staccato, if you will, velocity, right? So you've got max, min, range, and then you've also got chance here. And then in the playback, you've also got randomize for velocity, and you can set your low and high velocity. So you can constrain quite a bit. The one thing that I haven't seen yet is how to constrain it to the number of notes, like what is actually being generated. Because hitting the random button for like a bass or like a single note is not really doable here. Everything else is pretty great. Unless I'm missing something very, very simple. I just don't see that. An everlasting gobstopper just popped out of my speaker. Guy. Paul, you don't. You don't. Massive and Massive X are two completely different synths. So this one runs in Massive Classic, not Massive X. It sounds like it's something complex, but it's yes. Yes, and in fact, stacking phrase boxes is recommended. This is very similar to what I was doing with Shaperbox when I showed you guys Shaperbox and stacking instances of it to get more out of each one of the singular engines, because you can only have one instance of each thing running at any one time. So then stacking instances is the way to go. Let's grab a let's put it to task on something. Let's grab a let's grab something simple. Okay, so this does all right in a wide range. So let's do just that. Let's stack some instances here and see exactly what we can come up with. So it'll take up to 8. It'll take up to 8 notes. So what we could do is we could quantize this to something specific. Or, you know what else we could do? We could toss in completely random notes and see what happens when we force it to quantize to a key inside a phrase box. So we'll do that. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so let's just spread these out a bit. I don't know if that's enough range, but we'll find out. All right, is this a monophonic sound? No. Let's go into phrase box. Let's start with something simple first. Start with like just the bass first. Oh my. All right, massive synth, voice, mono. All right, so we could use that as the bass, right? Let's add another. By the way, Venomode Phrasebox will run in a MIDI effects slot in, I think, all the DAWs. I don't think Ableton has one yet still. I don't even think that's in the beta. I'm not exactly sure why they're sleeping on that, but you do have to load a couple of tracks inside of Ableton to get it going. Not the end of the world by any means. All right, let's give this something to work on, and let's do this one up on melodies, maybe. Wait a minute, is this not working? It should be. So I'm trying this on 2 separate tracks here. See if this does the trick. Let's take this and go up. How do I select all of these? I can't, can I? Can I group these? No. I want more shortcuts. Why is that? Is that because I'm American? You guys can be honest. And shift all these up 2 octaves. Holy heck. Let's just kill that really quick. Goodness. So this is the same sound again and again. So stacking them in sequence in the same MIDI effects rack is not going to work because each one is its own gate. Hadn't thought about that. But you can send them out. You can send out one MIDI signal on one track and then stack up the phrase boxes on other channels, have them all respond to the same MIDI. You can get clever with that. Inside of Ableton, you would have one track for your MIDI clip and then a bunch of different tracks for your Venom mode. You could stack instruments on top of that as well. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, you guys, this is my chance. Oh, God, Saffron is so fast. I was about to be famous. Man. Dremy, that's either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. That's one of the better things the guy has said in here, and the guy says a lot of things that make me laugh. Oh, man. OhmLab, you're sentient. You just haven't realized it yet. You already have a subscription. You talked to OhmLab and OhmLab responded. That's awesome. MacGyver. Paul says, that was fun. Had a patch started with a little drum machine, tossed in this simple 7-step sequence triggering massive with the sprinkles preset. Nice. Yeah, that bass almost does sound Whippet-ish, doesn't it? Very Devo. Oh, man. That's awesome. Just remember this moment. Oh, man. When we're under attack from OhmLab, we're going to look back on this moment. We're going to think about that gobstopper. So yeah, flipping through, stacking instances. I'm just going to change the timbre of some of these here really quick. Still the same patch on all of these. Right? Yeah, this is another one of my patches. Sound Freaks. This is from the EDM. Man, this is old now. I was just realizing this, but I'm trying to remember exactly when all of these, because we dropped like 6 titles all at once or something like that, but they were maybe even more. It's like at least 5 years ago, I think. Maybe more now. Yeah, I think Phrasebox is a win. I think that Phrasebox is just fun. Guy, do you rehearse these? Oh my. Oh, and we're running over. I've got a session I gotta go get ready for, you guys. Y'all keep me distracted and I lose track of time when I'm in here. No, this is something that just happened, he says. As it usually is, right? You know, it's people like you that probably hear all the time, oh, you should have a stand-up routine, but it's all off the cuff, and like, how do you prepare for something like that, right? Oh my goodness. Oh, hey, you know what I just remembered? I was going to raid Mr. Sam. So hey, all of you hang tight right here. Your classes were stand-up routines, but nobody got the joke. I like that. I like that, Paul. I hope you guys stick around forever. Let's see here. Go here. And then I will go Dashboard here. Let's raid someone. Let's do that. Who's live? Oh, yes, he is. He is still live. Let's go surprise him, shall we? Oh, he's just sitting there. He's so unsuspecting. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it, as always. And I will see you bright and early on Monday. Well, bright and early for me. For those on the other side of the world and whatnot, who knows? All you folks over in the UK are busy eating beans on toast by the time I'm starting up my stream, I bet. All right, Omis, I'm going to send you off to Sam. I hope you enjoy it. I have no idea what he's cooking up, but let's go surprise him. Peace out, y'all.
Guys, so beautiful to see you. Thank you so much for coming over. Big love to you. We're just having a nice, relaxing Friday evening with an untitled goose. Real Talk Friday. Happy Friday, guys. Hope you've had a beautiful day. We're goosing. Eric Yeoman, Paul, welcome. Chris, welcome. It's a raid. And we did get to have the Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is always fun. But yeah, I hope you had a beautiful stream, man. Thank you so much for the raid. We are goosing. We're goosing. It's been a good day for the community. It's been a good day. How have all of your days been from OhmLab? Love the fanfare. Of course, man. You gotta give the fanfare. By the way, something cool. Oh. Yeah, it sucks. It's just, well, I don't really know what that means, Sven. I'll be honest. MVP back after the second repair job, after the battery bloated. Oh, I get what you mean. Well, that's good to hear, man. Oh, a lot of good news in Sven's world today. Chris, good stream today. Gotta jump into it. No problem at all, man. Thank you so much for the raid, and I hope you have a beautiful session, man. Big love. And thank you so much for the chat on Tuesday. It was so good. It was really great. Really cool. Big love everyone who caught that. Posture check. Thanks, man. Well, I've actually got the old fancy chair today rather than drum stool, so yeah, man, that'd be beautiful. I'm really sorry we can't provide you with some music today. Tomorrow night I'm gonna do. Hopefully my laptop will be fixed tomorrow. I'm just gonna like wipe it all and reboot like the whole operating system, so hopefully that'll kind of clean it up a bit, but if not, we'll do a little chill little chill session. I'll play some songs. Yeah, I apologize for that. It's pretty. It was kind of gonna happen. Like, all this streaming has been kind of destroying my computer lately. I've been trying to upgrade to a dual